man, I love that beat. Oh my goodness. That is our official draft party mix by my man Ron Oliver. Man, I told him I need a little bit of heat coming with that thing, man. That's like some cayenne. No. That's like some ghost peppers up in here. Oh my goodness. I'm loving this. Ron, you the man with Tower Light Records. But I guess I'm gonna have to turn the funk down a little bit here. Yeah. Good evening, friends. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to thank you guys for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Dallas Cowboys Evening Show. And I am as excited as can be, bringing you kind of a recap of what is the Dallas Cowboys Day. You know, this is actually something that just hit the wires here as I was sitting here getting set up for my evening show. It's a little bit chilly out right now. I don't have the patio heater here, and I'm a little too far away from the fire pit to get some of that warmth, and I should have put away the sweatshirts because that wind is blowing. So if you get a little bit of wind and things like that, well, it's not me with gas. It's actually the wind. So we have the virtual reality meeting of Jerry Jones talking with Kyle Pitts. Oh, my goodness. Here we go.
We love to be breaking bread with you, but we don't get to do it with COVID-21. But this is an opportunity for us to visit with you, be yourself, enjoy it.
Boy, I'll tell you what, I'm excited to have you come into this league. And, man, what a pair up we could do with old Dak Prescott.
Old Dak
Some
Prescott.
of those guys that we've got out there for options to get you the ball. So we can dream of visions of sugar plums around here.
Sugar plums.
Who was the toughest opponent, individual player this past year that you faced, and why?
I would say J.C. Horn. That was one of the best DBs I went against. I was somewhere in that. You know, we're good friends. We compete a lot, and you know, throughout the whole game, that was sometimes we just get out. They gave up. It's let up. You know, me and him were talking the whole game, talking trash to each other, still competing at the same time. So that's someone who's good at. He's great fundamentals and great speed. So you gotta work to beat.
How do you see yourself as a leader? Are you a vocal guy, or are you a lead by example? Kind of explain to us how you lead.
I would say for the most part, I'm a lead by example. When I was here in Florida, I started with leading my tight end group. You know, that was somewhere Coach Mullins, me and him kind of sat down and talked about it. He was saying, you know, try and lead in levels. So you start with your position group, then you start to the offense, and then eventually get to the team. So that's kind of something I tried to work on all last year. So starting with the tight end group, making sure my guys are on time to class, on time to tutoring and practice. We're not missing anything. You know, we're all passing classes, and we're not the weak link of the offense. So that's something that I try to harp on.
As you look at your play on the field, what do you feel like is one thing that you need to improve on so that you can be an impact player next year?
I would say my placement and keeping my heels in the ground in the run game. Those are two things in the run game I feel like I need to improve on. That's something that, you know, I'm willing to work toward in the passing game. Just receive coverages faster and run more crisp routes.
I'm telling you, it's really special to see a player come in with the potential you've got and have your head on the ground, have your head like you got it. So congratulations again.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Wow, that was some smoke right there, guys. That was freaking insane. But the only thing, well, who knows? You know, we never thought we'd have an opportunity for CeeDee Lamb, right? Nobody thought he would fall all the way down to us, but he did. He did. And I'm glad that we got him. Now, is it conceivable? You know, right now, NFL teams are going all in trying to find that quarterback. You know, we know the first three picks are going to be quarterbacks, okay? And, you know, tight ends usually don't go in the top 10, and so maybe that scares some people away. You know, I'm still a defensive guy. But I want to, you know, I'm trying to, or at least what I try to do here with Joe Boo Sports is I try and give you as much information as possible and let you make the call. I'm not saying that Kyle Pitts would not be an outstanding player for our team. I'm not. But you have to also look at times in the past where they thought a guy was going to be the guy and he wasn't. I'm not saying that's Kyle Pitts, but you have to keep these things in the back of your mind. You have to have every scenario possible. What happens if I trade up and I get him? Does that mean that I'm going to be lacking someplace else? Because I'm going to go through and I'm going to take a stroll down memory lane here, okay? Because this was interesting, happened 9 years ago.
The clock, they made their selection. Again, they gave up a second-round choice to the St. Louis Rams, who have now moved down from the 2 spot to the 6 spot down to the 14 spot. And for that, they got a first-round pick next year, a first-round pick the following year after that, a second-round pick this year, and now with this trade, a third second-round pick for the St. Louis Rams, who will pick 14th overall tonight. As for Dallas, this guy is somebody who they clearly wanted, because after this pick, if you're a Cowboy fan, smoke them if you got them. Their next pick will be 81st overall late tomorrow night. Mike, you think?
So let me set the table. This is 2012, okay? The Cowboys decided to package up their first and their second round pick to move up to get a guy. The Rams on the other end of the equation backed up. They backed up and they piled up draft picks. And you got to look at them and say, you know, it was a few years later, the Rams had actually turned things around once they got a new coach and were in the Super Bowl. They didn't win it, but they were in the Super Bowl. Let's go back to the tape.
Think it's the cornerback?
Well, a couple things here. First of all, one of the main reasons I think the Dallas Cowboys haven't gotten to a Super Bowl in the last 7 or 8 years is the safety position.
Absolutely.
It's either Mark Barron or Maurice Claiborne, but it's a defensive back.
St. Louis has traded the 6th pick to Dallas. With the 6th pick in the 2012 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Maurice Claiborne, defensive back, LSU.
He's got the best ball skills of any corner coming out in the last several years. One of the most significant skills lacking at the NFL level for corners is the ability to track the football in the air and go catch it. We're going to show you a tape of this young man going after the football in the air and how special he is. He's long. He's a 6-foot corner with 4.4 speed. He can play press. He can play off.
And he is having
He
a
will
moment with his
tackle.
mom right now that he will never
Maurice
forget. Clearly.
Claiborne is a special corner. The only issue I ever have with him on tape is he's on the ground a little bit too much in transition. It looks like he slips and falls. I'm just a little worried about whether he has tight ankles or not. But outside of that, he's as clean as it gets. Now, here's the XO I talked about. Up top, watch his zone eyes, okay? Little high in his pedal. Tracks the quarterback.
Here in New York City, Radio City Music Hall filled with a lot of Redskins fans, excited to see RG3 crowned as their new quarterback, filled with a lot of Eagles fans who make the train trip up. Obviously, this is the home of the New York Giants. You could hear when he was drafted a welcome to the NFC East. The Dallas Cowboys have a new big-time player in their midst, Steve.
And how many times last year during game day highlights did we talk about the secondary for Dallas maybe letting them down? Well, they made a concerted effort this year to fix that and get it better. They signed up Rodney Poole. They signed Brandon Carr. These are veteran guys, and now you take the best corner in the draft, and all of a sudden their secondary is formidable.
And all of that we showed is him making interceptions. I asked Jerry about it. You run a high-risk defense, he will give you that high reward.
Wow. You know what they said there, that now we had the best cornerbacks out there. Yeah. You know, until this year, that 2013 defense was actually one of the worst ones that the Dallas Cowboys had in their history until this year. This year blew all the records. This year was just butt ugly. I mean, this year was just, oh my God, God awful. Now, I do this not because I'm trying to destroy Maurice Claiborne. I'm doing this not to say anything about Kyle Pitts. Kyle Pitts may end up being a Hall of Famer. Kyle Pitts may end up being the Megatron of tight ends. It is possible. It is conceivable. But here's the thing about the NFL draft. The thing that is absolutely positively crazy is there's strength in numbers. You think about the Dallas Cowboys, after we made that pick, 8-8, 8-8. We did have the great season, of course, 2014, where we were the no catch away from, getting to the NFC Championship game. 2015 was ass. And Morris Claiborne, for the most part, never really showed up. He had an injured career. He could never do training camp to the point where he could end up being impactful. 11 interceptions at LSU. You saw the tape. He looked like the real deal. He was the can't-miss player. He was the guy that you literally saw them falling all over themselves for. The Cowboys have the best cornerback in the draft. That's what everybody thought. In the end, nada. On the flip side, you think about the Rams that traded back. And this is another one of those cases where you look at teams that have traded back. When teams have gotten desperate to say, we need a guy, and have moved up. It seems to be the teams that are on the other end of that move back, that have gotten those extra draft picks, that have been able to build their complete roster. Now, make no mistake about it this year. We got 10 picks. You have to be excited about having 10 picks, okay? A high first, 10, 44. You got to be happy that we got 5 picks in the top 100. That's how you build a team. And you take some of those later ones and maybe you try and trade up and you try and make some other stuff with it, kind of get a few extra players here and there. You get that. But you don't package up your 1 and 2. Just think about what they said. We got that number 6 pick. Smoke them if you got them, because you're not picking again until 88. And that, my friends, hurts you. The teams are really built later in the draft. The teams that are really successful are the ones that are finding those guys in the mid-rounds that are building the roster. Yes, you need the big-name player, but you also need those other guys that are going to play key roles. Now, again, if Kyle Pitts falls to me, I'm good with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay taking a flyer on him. He looks like the real deal. But I'll be damned if I'm trading up for jack crap. Never. And that just happens to be my personal philosophy. So that's where we are right here with the Dallas Cowboys. We know that Aldon Smith, who's no longer a Dallas Cowboy, ended up turning himself in Bouchard. I can't remember what parish it is in Louisiana. Okay, he turned himself in facing second-degree battery. We do know about that one, and other than that, it's quiet as the Dallas Cowboys get ready for the draft. But as always, guys, I hope you're enjoying the things that we're doing. It seems like we've gotten rid of some of the bugs. I was going to try and do a live stream Zoom call tonight, but it's kind of chilly. In fact, I'm freezing. I should have a sweatshirt on because I'll probably catch cold. But with that being said, you know what time it is. Our Colts here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing. Love the music. Shout out to my man, Ron Oliver. If we could only do something with Jam on it.
You've been one hell of a job, and the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?